the truth, but you yelling at me.
But my thing is, shouldn't there have been somewhat of a conversation, or should there have been an understanding?
There you go.
He's still talking should.
And that's what should, which means that a lot of the time there is not an understanding up front because there is this, I assume. And when you assume something, and you assume that a person knows something, how can you correct something about a person who assumes it when assumptions is not necessarily based on truth?
That's not a good relationship, though. You build a relationship. You build a relationship. I mean, you have base things that you start with.
Okay.
Some things you don't want to start with because if you do, then you don't really have a good relationship. You got to build foundation. You got to get that first layer up. You know, you got to make sure everything is sturdy as you keep on building, because if something happens further up, you still got all that holding you up, and you can fix this.
How do you fix, not to cut you off, how do you fix something, I mean, when you're involved in a relationship with somebody that's not used to being in a relationship, period, and used to doing things their own particular way, how do you fix that right there when you discuss being in a relationship and everything, but since they're set in their ways and they're used to doing things their own way, how do you go about fixing that when you're trying to communicate, like you said, communicating with them, sitting down, talking to them, and it's basically going in one end and out the other? I mean, how do you go about fixing something like that?
So you're in a relationship and this person doesn't
comprehend, seem like
okay.
Period.
Well, I mean, to me, I'm sorry, but to me, if I'm going to be in a relationship, first off, we're going to get some hard things out the way first. Because if we don't get the hard things out the way first, then everything is just going to fall apart. So the hard thing may not be, I need you to pick your glasses up and put them in the sink. That may not be it. The hard thing may be, we got a time that we all need to be in this house. You know, that could be a hard thing, okay? So
then that points in, and there's that understanding, like it's a different norm for you, and that's that norm that y'all gotta shape together.
exactly.
I never thought about it. I never really thought about it, and Raquel saying the same thing. Never thought about the whole build. I mean, even though you know it, I never focused on that key word. Building your relationship.
I think it's going to also take patience. You can't be willing to give up on that person every time you want to do something wrong.
I say it on this for a reason, because I just got out of a relationship just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
And I felt like this whole coming in here, like I just told mine, I feel like they talking about me, or they talking about me. Because everything everybody's saying is relating to me and what I just went through. I started my relationship with communication, understanding, commitment, all that. And everything started out good. As soon as he went to having problems with whoever else, everything became my fault. And like he was saying with assumption and everything, he just automatically assumed I knew what was going on with him. You work for 24 hours. You're not around me all day. You come home mad, I'm like, baby, what, can you want to talk about this? I see you upset, I get out your way. Let you calm down and get your thoughts and stuff together. And then, I mean, it boils into an argument, but everything fell back on me. And that when I try to talk, it's like it goes one ear out the other. And he automatically assumed I should understand what's going on with him. But I told him, like, I'm not Miss Cleo. She went bankrupt. I can't read her.
That's right.
I can't read your mind. I need you to talk to me. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to find out what's going on with you. Why you in this? Why you had this state of mind at this time? I still can't read your mind. You ain't saying nothing, but you blowing up. Then you go to swinging. No, this is not gonna work. So I mean, that's all. Like, how do you go about trying? I mean, when somebody's set in their ways, they're not used to somebody being there for them when they've been through hard times and all that. People used to turn their backs on them and stuff. I was one of the ones, like you said, don't give up on it. You talk to me crazy. I bow down and everything because you're going through something. You ain't never had nobody there for you. I mean, based on a little bit that you have told me, I went on that. Instead of trying to talk to him, find out more information and everything, but it just escalated and got worse. So I mean, how do you
How do you put your foot down?
Well, I put that down and left.
If you kept walking.
But that's how somebody is set in the ways and stuff. Then you can't change nobody.
You can't.
don't want to
You
give up on
can't.
somebody that's going through something because you love them.
But
And you
sometimes you have
but
to.
sometimes you gotta love yourself enough and let
That's
go.
right. That's
And
right.
I love myself way more than be getting black eyes and stuff because
That's-
you going through something you want me to read your mind and you
That's
don't want to
right.
talk to me about it.
That's right.
So that's why I'm like, how do you go about changing somebody when they set in
You can't.
themselves ways and
You
everything,
can't.
and you love them so much and you want them to communicate with you?
You got, that's the first thing you gotta know.
You can't
You
change
cannot
it.
change anyone.
That's
The only
true.
one you can change is you,
That's true.
period. So if you meet them on the street and you look at it, 15 minutes later you say they got this problem, that problem, and this problem, and this could be a big problem. And do I really have that much time to invest? And if you figure you don't have that much time to invest, or either you got other things that you need to be paying attention to, you need to say, well, honey, you know, I could be your friend on this street right here today. And if you see me, we can say hello. But a relationship is too much that you gotta be putting into it. Some people need more, and they require people who have that kind of time to give to them, you know? But,
Oh, I had the time to give him. I had plenty of time on my hands. I had
You-
plenty of it. But he
Depends
just,
on it depends on, to me, it depends on the people. It depends on the kind of relationship you're trying to start. If this relationship, like with a mate, it's kind of like a business transaction when you get ready to sign a contract. If the paperwork don't look right, I don't think you should get
he
involved.
had signed a contract and everything. I tore all that up when I left.
But you know, and people, you believe it, I just love this, and it also lets us know how much this is actually needed, and the fact that I appreciate my sister to be able to come in and to say what is on her heart, but also the consolation that I want to add to her is, don't think that you were in the wrong because you gave all your best. And you have to do that because that bounces back on you loving yourself. And unfortunately, when we get into relationships with others, when they, and I don't want to say it this way, but I have to say it this way, if they're constantly confessing what happened with them in the past, in many cases, that is a clear sign that there are some things that they are not over yet. And yet, you may have all seem like the right pieces, you know, to help them through that, but it's not you that need to get them out of that. It is them that need to come to the point to realize that whatever they've gone through, it may not have been what others did to them, but it may be what they have done to others.
You know what? That's something she was heard. His sister was telling me tonight. Matter of fact, when they was talking to me going back to the house and everything, they was telling me the same thing. They said it's not because he has a problem with that. His mother passed a couple of years ago, around Christmas, on Christmas, after Christmas, somewhere around up in there. So he has a major issue with that. But it's been 3 years ago. Your mama is gone. Let that lady rest. Let her rest. Because I really am tired of hearing about
It's
it.
just that he is the type of person that he's been through a lot,
Right.
but he won't let nothing go.
Right.
Nothing.
But the
He's
thing
holding it.
is, and it's good. Not only, but remember this: hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
You want to keep that in mind.
That's right.
Second of all,
That's right.
it's all right for a person to be hurt, but have you been healed from that hurt?
He has not.
Because see, if you are not healed from that hurt and you experience another hurt and another hurt, it's almost like you got to go back to the first hurt to be healed from that, and then to be healed from that, and to be healed from that. That type of person, most importantly, needs to be able to deal with themselves by themselves before they can actually get into a relationship and bring somebody else in on their drama.
That's right.
I'm trying to take him to mental health.
So what am I saying? What am I saying? That now backs up. That goes back to when I said the origin of relationships is from God.
That's right.
But you understand this. Even though the origin of relationship is from God, is something happened between man and God that messed up relationships after man messed up. And you have to always keep that in mind, because now what you're dealing with, you are not dealing with a man or a woman who's standing in many cases. You're dealing with a man and a woman in some cases who have fallen and have never gotten up. You know, have never, and it's not just a repentance, but it is a healing and a closure. You know, some people have not gotten to this closure part. Because if you don't have closure in your life, you are hurt. And it is only a matter of time, and that hurt may lay dormant on the inside of you until a particular button is pushed. And when that button is pushed, then whatever is in you is going to come out of you. And it's almost like you're going to be looking at a strange person, because that wasn't the person that you met.
That's right. That's right.
But in actuality, that was the person you met. But they didn't give you you didn't see the telltale signs that that's who they were. It's because some people have mastered the art of hypocrisy. And hypocrisy, you know what hypocrisy really is? When somebody say they're a person is a hypocrite, a hypocrite is a person who plays in a theater, in the Bible terms. And they wear masks. And they act on stage, but once they get off stage, then the real person comes up. And unfortunately, in relationships, it is in many of the relationships, it is built on attraction. Okay, it is built on sometimes money, because people are looking for security.
That's right.
And guess what? Security is not money. But if the brother got bank, or the sister got bank, or whatever, you know, I'm looking for that type of security, which means that you have to determine the type of security that you want, and that will be what be beneficial to you. Because if you're looking for something and it appears that that's what it is, and when you get it and you find out that, oh my goodness, it's not at all what I thought it was, and now then the next thing that comes to your mind, look at all this time that I have wasted.
That's right. That's right.
Had I not just paid attention to the telltale signs. But the question is, why don't we pay attention to the signs? Could it be like we hear it say, love is blind?
We just want what we want.
We want, and it's almost like not only do we just want what we want, and if it looks like what we want,
Right.
even if it's not everything that we want, we can work with
We
it.
can work. Well, we say we can.
We say we can
Until we get into it.
And the thing is, what hurts more so than anything is the investment. Because any relationship that you are a part of, it really is an investment. And whatever you leave with from that relationship can be carried on to the next relationship, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Okay? So all I'm saying now is, my sisters and brothers, we got to get to the origin, who created this thing. Which means that now once my relationship, and I have to say, before we can even enter into a relationship with somebody else, we need to enter in a relationship with God.
That's right.
So God will show us what to look for. You know, there's a scripture that says, in all thy ways, if you acknowledge him, he will direct your path.
That's right.
Okay? So we're looking for that direction. Now, just because he directs your path doesn't mean that when you get in a relationship, everything is going to be rosy.
That's right.
But it should get to the point where something is tolerable. You know, because when you're talking about tolerable, man, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over, that is no longer an apology. It's no longer an apology. It is a habit that you need help on. And I'm not the one to help you on. So you have to keep these things in mind. That's why I said we have to go when it comes to the origin. When God made man and woman from the beginning, he made them actually to glorify him. But in glorifying him, he made them compatible with each other.